Kenny Miller can't stop talking about Celtic. He's been going on about a Celtic player that, as far as he's concerned, isn't getting enough game time under Ange Postecoglou. Matt O'Reilly's been talking about the fact that Ange Postecoglou doesn't talk a lot to the players, but when he does, the players listen. The Celtic B team, well, what can you say about them yesterday? They romped, beating the Sevco 3-1 yesterday. Ange Postecoglou is talking about the Hearts game. Obviously, we play them tonight. And going to talk about a Celtic legend who's currently undergoing some treatment for cancer. And if you read the Celtic Star blog, you'll know who I'm on about. So we're going to send our best wishes to him. So let's go back to the Kenny Miller story first of all. Kenny Miller has revealed he can't believe that Liel Abada doesn't start for Celtic, who put in a man of the match at the weekend. The former Sevconian says on Go Radio he can't believe that he doesn't play. He's had a wonderful season for a young player. You've got to remember, he's only 20-year-old. He's just a young kid. If he was a Scottish player, you wouldn't be saying that either. Do you know what I mean? So I think we'll look at foreign players a lot better than we do our own Scottish-bred players at some point. And you have to realise that he is still just a young player learning the game, and as good as he is, you know, it's all about managing the time. And I think what Kenny Miller doesn't seem to comprehend is Ange Postecoglou is managing the squad. And he did say yesterday in his press conference, he says, as we go into next season, and he will increase the squad numbers with quality, it's all about using that quality to the advantage of the team and playing them in the games necessary. And I think that'll become even more paramount when we start the new season and we're playing back at European football. Give Kenny Miller his due. He said he's super positive in his play and his body language is always really good. But he'll be sitting on the bench next week probably, and the same thing happens again. Kenny. This is what happens when you're at a big team with a big squad. You know, you're not guaranteed game time. Okay, but maybe when you played for Sevco, you were guaranteed game time every week because your bench was crap. You know, we look at the bench that Celtic have, and it is a really strong bench. And talking about strong benches, Matt O'Reilly admits that being granted an audience with Ange Postecoglou can be so rare that he hangs on to his every word. Now, the press conference yesterday as well, Ange Postecoglou was talking about Matt O'Reilly and the fact that Matt O'Reilly's only really 2 seasons into his full-time career as a football player. Postecoglou offers there's another player that's only 22-year-old, you know, so it's a really young squad, and I think the manager's doing a perfect job of managing these players and managing their expectations. And he knows that when he talks to players, Matt O'Reilly he says regarding the gaffer, he doesn't speak to us that much at all at the training ground. He delivers information when he needs to in meetings and on the pitch and pre-match sessions, and generally you probably won't see that much of him. That's because you have a man. We spoke about this yesterday. In the video. The backroom staff that we have at Celtic are doing a fantastic job, and the manager is doing his job of managing the team. So the fact that he keeps himself to himself, he detaches himself away from the players, and he allows him to pick a team without much emotion. So I can understand the reason for it. But at the same time, whenever I've spoken to him, he's been very friendly. I think he is that father figure in the club that we've been crying out for years. And the father figure of a manager where, you know, he'll put his arm around you and comfort you and tell you everything's good when it's going good. And he'll also give you that look that Cameron Carter-Vickers has got at the weekend saying, what the was that? Anyway, talking about the Celtic B team, they obviously 2 goals from Joey Dawson, who's having a fantastic season in the B team. How long will it be before he's chapping on Ange Postecoglou's door and saying, I want to jump up to the first team? Darren Dean and Stephen McManus are doing brilliant, doing coaching with the B team. The young side have shown promise this season, and they beat the Sevco. That's all you want to hear from them, isn't it? And Celtic play Hearts this evening, and Celtic manager Ange Postecoglou says facing Hearts at Parkhead and Tynecastle in 2 separate competitions will be so very different that he'll not look beyond tonight's game in the Premiership. The league leaders obviously host Hearts tonight, and Robbie Nielsen's men in Edinburgh at the weekend, and it'll be good for the fans going to the game at the weekend because we'll get the bigger stand rather than just that little quarter that they've been giving us. We'll get back to having the full bit behind the goals. Postecoglou says it's one of the quirks of Scottish football. Doesn't happen much in other leagues. The fact that we have such a small league, and there's been a cry out for years that the league should have been expanded. I think this playing each other 4 times has all been down to Sky. They never wanted to change it because you wouldn't get 4 games with them against us, and that's how the TV are actually pushing it. I think if it was to go to a bigger league, that's another question again. Do you know what I mean? It's like we digress. Should the league be bigger, and should we go back to playing each other twice? Should Scottish football leagues be smaller? Because let's face it, there's a lot of rubbish down, and people can go on about the history and everything, but when you look at some of the teams down in the lower leagues, it's like people are pumping their own money into these teams just to keep them surviving. Is it as viable as a business? But you don't know. Anyway, if you look, there's been over the years there's been a few sides that have went tits up. One being Gretna and Adrionians and Sevco, and only one of them managed to stay alive. We're allowed to stay alive. We should have died. Anyway, Ange Postecoglou goes on about that, saying that playing each other twice, he says it happens quite a lot in this league. You play each other twice in a week. We've done it to Sevco a few times over the years, play them in the league and play them in the cup. We've done that many times over the years actually, and we've always came out on top. Kenny Miller, what can we say about him? Less said about him the better. He's just into he was a half decent player, but managerial things, he needs to leave that up to the big boys. So the sad news I want to report this morning, if you read the Celtic Star, there's a lot, I know a lot of you will read the Celtic blogs that are out there. Davy Potter, Mr. Potter, as I used to always call him, Davy Potter is he's an official Celtic historian, and he has been for years, and the club hold him in high regard due to the fact that he is a Celtic historian. He announced yesterday that he's been treated for cancer. He's very upbeat about it, and he's staying very positive, and he got all the well wishes from the Joseph Rafferty club in Kirkcaldy, which he now he runs the bus. He takes the bus from Kirkcaldy. What can you say? I hope that you fight it well, Mr. Potter, and our thoughts are with you. On that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world. Tell me your score predictions in the comments, please.
Lit. Roll up to the